Maybe you just bought an iPad. Maybe you've had an iPad for a while and you've just been using it for entertainment and distractions. Whatever the case is, if you're an entrepreneur, then this is the video that you want to watch in order to make sure that your iPad is set up optimally to be as productive as possible. Despite what other people may tell you, you don't need a fancy keyboard or other accessories in order to get the most out of your iPad. You also don't need any special apps, regardless of what kind of business you have. I'm going to show you exactly what you can do in order to set up your iPad for absolutely free and still get the most out of it. Let's start the video. If you just bought a new iPad, then your apps probably look like this. If you have an iPad that you've had for a while, then you probably have a bunch of apps that are scattered around everywhere. One of the really cool features that you can do is actually organize these apps based on categories that you pick. So if we just go to my screen, I'll show you right here that you can actually see that I have folders specifically for entertainment. So we have my Amazon Prime Video, my Hulu, my YouTube, my Disney Plus, Apple TV, and all of that good stuff. I have another one that's just for drawing and creativity. So as you can see, I have DaVinci Resolve, Capcut, Procreate for drawing, Canva for graphic design, Adobe Express for some other projects, and some other things that are related to creativity, photo, and video. If we want to create a new folder for, like, let's say apps or just Apple applications in general, all I need to do is click on whichever app I want to put in a folder, and I can drag it over another app that has a similar function, or another app that I want to be in that folder, and it'll automatically create that folder for me. If I want it to be on another page, I can just drag it to another page, drag it to the left on the same page that the other app is on, and next thing I know, I have my apps in a folder. We can also rename the folder to whatever we want. So because I have 2 Apple things in here, I can rename this to Apple. Now, I'm not going to keep this way. I'm just showing you this as an example. Clearly, my iPad is already set up. And unlike my iPhone productivity video, if you watch that for 2025, I'm not really interested in redoing everything. I just want to give you guys a short tutorial that hopefully is helpful. So anyway, if I make a folder on accident or just want to remove an app from a folder, all I need to do is just click on that app, drag it off, and I can put it wherever else I want on my page. Now, this is great for apps that we already have on our page or already have on our iPad. If we want to add another function and, let's say, not go into apps at all and just be able to access things quickly, we can also utilize widgets. So what is a widget? Well, a widget is just a application block that we can use in order to access a function of an app really quickly without actually going all the way into the app. Some of the things that I have downloaded on my iPad include Perplexity, which is a large language model that allows me to ask questions and write things by giving it prompts. It's really good at writing, let's say, articles or descriptions for videos and things like that. So that's how I generally use it. It'll just give me some quick information, and then I can use that information and turn it into my own words instead of coming up with something from scratch. So if I'm having creative block for any reason when it comes to words or copywriting, then Perplexity is a pretty good app for me. If I want to have the Perplexity widget on my computer, all I need to do is click or tap on the screen from my iPad. And if I just go to edit after the apps start jiggling, I can add widget, and I can search for Perplexity. And as you can see, Perplexity comes up. I click on it, and there are 2 sizes for the Perplexity app. I really like this large box right here. And as you can see, it also gives us a few other options, right? So we have a voice option, we also have a photo option, and a few others. Now that this is here, let's say that I don't like where it is on my page. Well, I can drag it anywhere I want onto the page, because I have iOS 18 and we can do that now. Once I'm happy with where the app is located, I'm just going to click again or tap again, and there you go. Boom. Now I have the Perplexity app at the bottom center of my screen, just like I want. And next, I'm just going to click in order to show you guys how to use Perplexity. So it says ask anything. So I'm just going to say, like, where do chickens come from? And I'll answer the question, right? And we can watch about chickens. Chickens originate in Southeast Asia, genetic origins, and it's going to give us all this information. It also gives you all the sources, which is one of the reasons why I really like Perplexity. This isn't an ad for Perplexity, but I just really like this app, and it'll tell us even more and more about chickens. And it'll even give us some related questions that we can also use in order to expound on information about chickens. Perplexity was made for writing research papers and articles. I highly recommend using it if you're somebody that's diving into a new subject. One thing about being someone who works with a lot of companies in marketing means that there are various topics that we sometimes need to cover. And if I want to make sure that that information is relevant and actually accurate, then I'll use a tool like Perplexity instead of ChatGPT, because ChatGPT is not connected to the internet, and sometimes the information that it gives you is inaccurate. The good thing about Perplexity in particular is not only will it give you the information, but it will actually cite its sources, and you can double check. And if there's a specific source that you want to omit from whatever thing you're researching, then all you need to do is let it know, hey, this is the source that I actually want to go with, and it'll make sure to only give you things from that source. So we can choose academic sources, whatever the case is. As you can see for this article right here, one of the sources is Reddit. That doesn't really interest me. I think that Reddit can sometimes be inaccurate, but I'm okay with Wikipedia, the Smithsonian, things like that. So I may want to include those sources in my article. Anyway, that's a huge tangent. Perplexity is awesome. That's one widget, and you can do this with any other widgets that you want. So if you want to see exactly how I have my page set up, well, this is my homepage right here. The widgets that I chose to use are the clock. I like seeing the weather at pretty much all times. I'm an avid user of the daily checklist and daily routine checklist in particular. If you want to set this up, then all you need to do is open up your reminders app. So if we go and search, we can search for reminders, and it'll pop up. Once the reminders app is open, we can see everything that is open in the reminders app. And this is really cool, right? But yours probably doesn't look like this. And so what I would really recommend doing is setting up a daily routine checklist. I actually went over how to set up a daily routine checklist in the Ultimate Productivity Guide for iPhone in 2025. I think it's titled something like that. But basically what I'm going to do is just start a new list. So right here on the left-hand side, you can see it says add list. I can just click on that. I want to connect it to iCloud because that's what my iPhone uses and all of my other accounts. This way, my iPhone checklist and my iPad checklist are connected. And if I ever check anything off my iPad, then it'll reflect on my iPhone and vice versa. Now, if I want to start a new checklist, we can call this checklist the party checklist. Then all I need to do is just that, right? Add list, party checklist. I can also change the color. I can also change the icon if I want to do that for some reason. There are also templates that you can save and create yourself. We may go over that in another video if there's any interest in that. But basically, once our checklist is complete, we can just press done, click on the empty space, and we can start typing whatever we want, right? So I can say party supplies, streamers, confetti, all that good stuff. Once I'm done with that, all I'm going to do is close out because my actual checklist has been made. And if I want to be able to see it on the home screen, you can actually go back into the widget, tap and hold on it, go to edit reminders, and it says list right here. I can just tap on my list and choose my party checklist. And all of a sudden, if I tap out of this, my party checklist is what's displayed. So instead of going into the actual reminders app, I can just quickly tap each one of the icons and it'll update in real time to let me know, hey, you've done this, all of that good stuff. I use this for grocery lists. I use this for my to-do list for clients. I use this for all sorts of things throughout the day. Now, let's say that I run a party business or something like that. And because of the demand of my party business, I need to look for confetti or restock confetti. We can need to say that, right? So restock confetti. If I want to delete, I can just swipe to the left and click delete. But there we go. So restock confetti, look for streamers. And all I need to do is press on this I right here. And as you can see, we actually have a toggle for a date and time. This date and time is going to let us know when the reminders app is going to remind us to restock confetti. So I'm going to set it for today because today I need to restock confetti, and this is an issue that I have or something that I need to do every, let's say, once a week. I'll set my alarm for 10 a.m. or 8 a.m. so I am alerted in the morning, and I want to repeat this once a week, right? So we can select weekly. Click done, and now once a week, I'll be reminded to restock confetti. Whenever I'm done restocking confetti, I just check the box, and that's it. I don't need to think about that until next week. And as you can see, it updates in real time. Not only that, but if we go to the calendar, right? So I have the calendar app downloaded too. But if we go to the calendar and we go to the 21st, then we can actually see that restock confetti is on the is in our calendar to remind us to restock confetti on January 21st. Once again, not only are the reminder app and calendar apps compatible with each other and update in real time, but it also updates things on your phone, which I absolutely love. The next thing I want to cover is going to be notifications and focus modes. I want to make sure that my notifications are actually optimized to only be things that I'm okay with being distracted with, at least when I'm in my regular iPad focus mode, right? So right now I don't have any kind of focus modes or anything turned on. I mean, I do, it's on Do Not Disturb for the sake of this video, but generally speaking, I'm just using my iPad in a regular state. And if I wanted to be reminded of everything, then that's fine. I wouldn't need to update any of my notification settings. But if I want to make sure to only be notified at specific times or be notified about certain things in general, then all I'm going to do is select my settings. And in my settings, I can go to notifications and I can select which notifications I want to be reminded of and which ones I don't. And as you can see, I have most of my reminders turned off, right? Don't want to be reminded of games. Don't want to be notified by Crunchyroll or anything like that. Disney Plus does deliver me notifications quietly. I don't like that, so I'm going to turn all notifications off for Disney Plus. I think if the intention is to be as productive as possible on my iPad, then I need to be as intentional as possible and as stringent as possible about what I allow to notify me of things and what I don't. Now, at this point in the video, we've covered widgets, we've covered the reminders app, we've covered how it connects to the calendar, we've also covered how to actually customize some of those things. And there's still one more thing that I want to talk about regarding widgets, and that is going to be how to set up a smart stack. So a smart stack is going to be a special kind of widget that allows us to actually add different apps on top of each other. So I'm going to add widget, and from here, smart stack is the first thing. If you don't see it there for you, then all you need to do is search for smart stack. But once you select smart stack, you can add widget, look for the size that you want, and then add it. I'm going to go with this because this is just my preferred size. And from the actual smart stack, if you click on it, you'll see some apps that are already loaded in there. Now, I don't like Smart Rotate because this is going to cycle through the apps that we have in our stack automatically. I want to turn that off, and widget suggestions will add and remove apps based on what the iPad or Siri or whatever AI brain thinks is going to be useful for you. I'm going to turn this off too because I just want to have control over that myself, and I'll start removing all of these things by clicking the minus sign and then clicking remove to make sure that this stack is going to be completely customized for productivity. I don't need to see my photos. Notes are pretty important. Unread messages from Yahoo are pretty important. Gmail is pretty important, but I'm going to remove this because I actually have another Gmail app and I don't need quick access to my contacts. I don't call those people that much. So here we go. For this stack, I have notes and I have my Yahoo messages. Now, if I want to add something to the stack, all I need to do is press the plus sign, and it's going to pull up all of the things that are compatible with the stack that I chose. Let's say that I want my battery levels or Bible verses. I can just add this widget and it's automatically added to the stack. When I select out of it and then select again, yes, you can see that Yahoo messages are here. Let's say that I don't want Yahoo messages there. All I need to do is just scroll on my smart stack and boom, now I have quick access to the verse of the day from the Bible app. Now that we've covered pretty much everything widgets, the last thing that's really left to talk about are focus modes. And there's something that has to do with widgets regarding focus modes too. But first, let's actually go into what focus modes are and how you can use them. Focus modes are going to be customized presets for your iPad and for your iPhone that allow you to make sure that you're only getting the notifications that you want at that specific time, and you only have access or can only see certain apps that have to do with that specific focus mode. As you can see on my iPad, one of the presets that I have is this one right here. So this is going to be, these are actually 4 different focus modes that I have set up through the Shortcuts app. If I want to access focus modes, all I'm going to do is go to my settings, and from settings I can scroll down and see focus. Alternatively, you can also go to the very top. There is a search bar and you can just search for focus. I did it earlier, so focus is right here. I can select focus and I can see all the focus modes that already exist on my phone. If I want to set up my own focus mode or a different focus mode, all I'm going to do is press the plus icon, and then I can see that there are some choices here. These choices are cool, but I'm going to select custom, and from here we're going to say YouTube recording, right? So when I'm recording YouTube, I'm going to change this icon to, we'll make it red, and see if there's anything that looks a little bit like a record button. So this is pretty cool. It looks a little bit like a record icon. As you can see right here as well. We'll press next, And now we can customize our focus. Really quick, iPad actually tells you everything that the focus mode does, right? So you can silence notifications you don't want across all your devices, share with friends you have notification silence, turn on a custom home screen page, and schedule it to turn off automatically or turn it on from the control center. So we're going to customize this focus. We can actually go through and choose who we silence notifications from or allow notifications from, which is awesome. We can also choose who we allow to call us during this time, and we can choose which apps we get notifications from. I'm going to silence all of them in YouTube recording mode. I'm also going to customize my screen. So I can change my lock screen to make a specific lock screen show up during a specific mode. I will link that lock screen to this focus mode, and I will also choose a different home screen page. So there are, as you can see, 3 different home screen pages that I have right now. This one I actually created for gaming, but we'll go with my original home screen for the time being. Press done, and smart activation is something that does happen. I don't really like that. What I'm going to do instead is add a schedule. I can also make it so it only activates manually when I click for the focus mode to be on or off. Now, if I add a schedule, yes, timing is a thing. Like I can make this only come on during certain days of the week, during certain times. Like if I'm somebody who only records Tuesday through Wednesday from 9 to 5, then maybe that's when I want to have this focus mode automatically go on and off. But maybe there's a specific location that I do something. Like if I'm somebody who goes to the gym 5 to 6 days a week, but I go to the gym at different times depending on my work schedule or something like that. I just want my phone or my iPad to go into that specific focus mode based on my proximity to that place. I can also set it up so this focus mode only comes on when I open a specific app. So for this, I am actually going to use that, and I'll say that YouTube recording mode only comes on when I use YouTube Studio. Another thing that's really cool about focus modes is that we can actually change the way that our entire iPad looks like when we're in that specific mode. I can silence everything while in this mode, silence all my sounds. I can make it go into low power mode. I can make it go into dark mode or light mode or any of that good stuff. And if I want to change the way that all my apps look, once again, all I need to do is hold down on the screen, and once the apps start jiggling, I can edit and I can customize. And by customizing, I can actually change the actual color of my entire iPad. Now in YouTube mode, maybe I want everything to be red and black for some reason, then I can do that. Or if I want everything to be dark, then I can just select dark. And now everything is dark when I'm in that specific mode. Now this may just seem like a feature that's just there because it's cool, but it's actually not. We can sometimes get distracted when we're looking at a lot of bright and vibrant colors all of the time. So I find this extremely helpful if I want to be in a personal mode, for example, and have my entire iPad or phone go black and white while I'm hanging out with friends or whatever the case is. By removing a lot of color away from the actual device itself, I am less incentivized to spend a ton of time consuming on the app or consuming on the iPad or device in general. Anyway, once we have a few focus modes set up, the last thing that's left for us to do is actually add those focus modes to our home screen for easy access, like I have right here. As you can see, I have a do not disturb mode, I have a game mode, I have a text last image button, which is a completely different shortcut, and also take a break. But do not disturb and gaming one are focus modes. In order to do this yourself, all you need to do, once again, is hold the home screen, click edit. We're going to add a widget, and this time we're going to look for shortcuts. Select the size that you want. I like this one right here. We're going to add the widget, and if we actually tap on the widget, instead of doing all shortcuts, we can choose which shortcuts we want to be seen. I'm going to select folder 2, and this is what it looks like for me now. As you can see, now I have a sleep, gaming, work, and personal shortcuts. And if I tap on them, there are different things that happen to my actual iPad. If I select sleep, then I am in my sleep focus mode, which allows me to not get any notifications and get good quality rest. If I select that off, then I'm back to my normal focus mode. And if I select gaming, well, the screen changes completely. And these are just all of my games. As you can see, I have a YouTube search function. I can see the batteries to all of my devices, and I can see who's live on Twitch, as well as, Streamlabs and all of that good stuff. So I can stream from my iPad if I wanted to. For me, if I'm in gaming mode, I want to silence any notifications that don't have to do with video games and just be able to focus on gaming, streaming, or anything else that's video game related. If I just select the same shortcut that I created earlier in my custom homepage, then it's going to take me back to the homepage of my original iPad. In this video, we went over how to optimize your notifications. We went over how to create focus modes, make shortcuts for those focus modes, and actually add some widgets to our home screen itself so that we're able to see and access things that are really important to us depending on what task we're trying to complete. I hope this video helps you customize your iPad in a way that's really helpful to you, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.